take you to a different world, that is a world of genetics. And you must be knowing, according to WHO definition for healthy individual, who is healthy. The definition says a person is healthy with the physical health, then mental health, social health, spiritual health, and sexual health. If a person has all these things, then only we consider the individual as a healthy individual. This is the definition given by WHO. But probably nobody will fit into this definition. We have a physical health, but we might be having anxiety, depression, or attention deficit problem, all these things. Otherwise, the person may be mentally healthy, but physically he might be having multifactorial disorders like diabetes, obesity, thyroid problem, PCOD in females, and males there might be infertility, cardiovascular problem, all these things. This is a physical and mental health. And we have a social, there is another concept called as a social health. That means if we are with, because you must be knowing, human is a social animal. We can't live alone, isolation we can't. So we have to be in the society only. So if we are in good terms with our colleague, our friends, relatives, then there is an interaction. We are involved in the interaction in the society. Then that itself tells us that we have a social health. Similarly, new addition to this health definition is a spiritual health. WHO has given, if the person has a spiritual health, then he will be definitely having a social health. In turn, he will be having a physical and mental health. That means the spiritual health doesn't mean that we need to go to Himalaya or some temple or some matas, they do meditation, not that. So if we concentrate on one particular activity without any thoughts in our mind, that is nothing but a spiritual health. It might be cooking, it might be gardening, or music, or dance, or whatever may be. If you just concentrate on one particular thing and without any thoughts, any other thoughts, so then that is called as a meditation, and it is a spiritual health. That means the person holistically, the health defines that the person should have a physical health, mental health, social health, sexual health, and spiritual health. So all these 5 components are very, very important. And nowadays you must be knowing, for our health, environment has a major impact. Okay, so genetics means the disease are the characters which will carry it from our ancestor, from generation to generation. If my nose resemble my grandmother, my eyes might resemble my mom, my ears might resemble my father, like that. We are admixture of characters from our ancestors and our parents. Genetics means the character or the trait or the disease, whatever may be, if it transmits from one generation to next generation, then it is called as a genetic disorder. Generally, I used to tell whether whether we get ancestral property or not, but definitely whether you like it or not, we get the diseases. We get the characters from our ancestors. That is a genetics. Okay, but nowadays what happened? Our lifestyle, diet, and hobbies, all these things also has an impact on our health. You must be knowing, 2023, this year, already we have completed, probably 2024, India will be the capital for diabetes and obesity globally. Global prevalence, if we take, India stands first for diabetes and obesity. What could be the reason for this? Because we have changed our lifestyle and diet. Earlier, our diet and lifestyle was totally different. We were all free from diseases. Nowadays, because of changing them, because of the globalization, you must be knowing everything is available everywhere. Globalization, urbanization, and all these things, and sophistication, there's a change in our lifestyle. There is a change in our diet. There are a lot of changes in our hobbies. So these are the changes makes us to prone to develop the diseases, especially obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular problem. You must be knowing, youth in young age, they succumb with cardiac arrest. So they'll be in the gym, suddenly they'll collapse. So all these things is because of change in our lifestyle and diet. Okay. Yeah.
Madam, slide move ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Yes, 1 second, I'll see. Yeah. Yeah, what are genetic disorders? The definition is very simple. It's a medical condition or the diseases that is caused by mutation of genes. Now, probably everyone are familiar with the genes, genome, all these things. After COVID, no, all are very familiar with our mRNA or the RNA virus, DNA virus. You must be knowing COVID is a RNA virus. That's why it was very difficult, because lot of every moment, no, it will change. That's why very difficult to develop the vaccine or drugs for this. Every moment it will alter. So our body is made up of trillions of cells. Okay, so it is just like, how we build the building. So we have a brick, cement, all these things like that. Our body is made up of trillions of cells. Inside these cells, there is a nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there are chromosomes. Okay, this is the diagram. So this is the cell. Inside the cell, there is a nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there are chromosomes. Inside the chromosome, there is a DNA. Okay, in COVID virus, it was a RNA, but in all rest of the organism, we have both RNA virus, DNA virus, but rest of the organism, we have a DNA as a genetic material. It is our anebarha, because everything for us is written in the DNA. How we have to be, whether tall, short, dark, fair, or all, everything, how should be our hair texture, length, and everything in our body, head to toe, is written already in the DNA. Okay, so it is a message. What is there in the DNA? There is a message. The message tells this has to be done at this point of time. For example, in the adolescent, you must be knowing, there are a lot of hormonal variation happens. No, that's why they develop secondary sexual features. So girls, no, they develop menstruation. Boys, they develop beard. There's a change in the voice, and there's a spermatogenesis. All these things, because certain hormones are produced only during the adolescent. That means that message has written in the DNA. And every organism, including human, from bacteria till human, we have every organism on this earth, including plants also, there is a definite number of chromosomes. For example, humans, we have a 46 number of chromosomes. Okay, in our body, every cell has a 46 number of chromosomes. 23 comes from father, 23 comes from mother. So we have a 46 chromosome. Chimpanzee has 48. During the course of evolution, you must be knowing, we are all originated from chimpanzees. So what happened during the course of evolution, 2 chromosomes in chimpanzee might have fused, and it is reduced in number, and we have 46 number. And in mice or rat, you have seen albino rat, which is used for the experimental purpose, white rat, albino rats. They have a 40 number. There is a 6 chromosome difference between the rat and the human. And chimpanzee and human, chimpanzee 48 and human 46. See the differences, lot of differences, cranial capacity, brain capacity, features, everything changes from individual to, from organism to organism. Fishes, birds, reptiles, mammals, and even in the plants also, every plant has a definite number of chromosomes. Every individual has a organism has a definite number of, dogs has a certain number of chromosome, cats has a certain number of chromosome. So there should be the number and the structure of the chromosomes should be always stable. There shouldn't be any change in these numbers. By chance, if there is any change in the number, increase the number, decrease the number, then what happened? That is nothing but a disease or the syndrome. You have seen lot of mentally retarded children, and and with a deaf and dumb and blindness, lot of such things. It is because of there is a change in the number of the chromosome, and also there is a mutation in the DNA. DNA, I told you, there is a message. By chance, if there is some interruption in the message, what happened? The message will be different. So that is nothing but a disease. Cancer is like that. There is a change or there is a mutation. Mutation is a changes. It is a heritable change. The changes happens in the cell because of the exposure to some chemicals outside. Every day we expose to a lot of chemicals. So because of the exposure, there is a change happens in the DNA, and that leads to cancerous condition. This is the cell. Inside there are chromosomes, and in humans there are 46. If you take one of the chromosome, inside the chromosome, this is the DNA. DNA is a thread-like structure. It is wound around like a balls. These balls are nothing but the proteins, histones. So DNA is wound around, and the length of the DNA in human is equivalent to, you can go to sun and come back. That is the length, approximately, that's the length of the DNA which is present in human. If you just pull out all the DNA in our body. But what happened? No, there is a compaction, and finally it is present in the chromosome. This chromosome, it is a microscopic. We can see the chromosomes through microscope, and DNA is hidden. It is present inside this chromosome. And all diseases, you name any disease, constipation, asthma, whatever may be the disease, it has a genetic background. For example, COVID. During COVID, many people in the second wave, many people, they were very strong with good health, they died, they succumbed because of the that's oxygen, the hypoxic condition. There is a insufficiency of the lung capacity, thereby they couldn't breathe. But some of them, even though they are infected, they were moving here and there without any symptoms. Why such difference? Some people, they died. Why some of them no symptoms at all? It is just like cold and fever, and immediately they have recovered. So why so? Because there is a change in the genome. Because the genetic makeup of the individual is different. My genetic makeup will be different from you, and your genetic makeup will be different from another person. That's why, even though all are exposed to toxins or the carcinogens, but some will develop cancer, some will develop disease. That means they are prone to develop the disease, because that is a mutation has been carried from their parents to offspring. So here, everything, all except fever, sometimes we have cold and fever, no, except those, rest of the health issues are genetic disorders. You name anything, I'll say it is a genetic disorder. And all the genetic disorders are broadly, for our convenience, we'll classify them into different category. Okay, so I don't take minor details. It is not very much a technical, because I know you are all from the different background. So I just brief out why they are very important, how we can manage our health. So the first one is a disease related to single gene mutation. I told you we have trillions of cells, and 30,000 genes are present in our body. By chance, if there is any mutation in any one of the gene, then we develop disease. Just one in the 30,000s of the gene, one gene has undergone some change, then the person will develop the disease. That is enough. So that is called as a Mendelian disorder. So if we take all the genetic disorder together, 99% of the genetic disorder will develop in 2 copies. Means, I told you, in our body, there are 46 chromosomes, 23 from father and 23 from mother. So if mother has the problem, father has the problem, then only the child will develop the disease. So that's why 99% of the genetic disorders will express in the 2 copies. 2 copies means, how we get the 2 copy? From my father's side, my father should have some disease, my mother should have some disease, then only I will develop the disease. So this is the condition that is called as a Mendelian pattern of inheritance. This is very rare. That's why generally I never entertain consanguineous marriage. Consanguineous marriage means marriage between the relatives. Uncle niece marriage, first cousin marriage, marriage among some relatives. So it shouldn't be entertained. Okay. Why? Because in a family, for example, Sister has some mutation for one disease, but she looks normal because one copy is there. And her brother also has one copy. Okay. When she gives her daughter to her brother, then what happened? Both husband and wife, both of them, they carry the disease genes. Then when they give birth to children, the children will develop the disease. That's why we shouldn't entertain consanguineous marriage or the marriage between the relatives. That's a Mendelian disorder. By avoiding this, we can free from 90% of the genetic disorder. For example, I don't know how many mutation I had in my body, but I am absolutely normal because all the mutations are in one copy. Because my father and mother, they are not relative. They are from two different faraway places, from two different families. If they are related, then the chances are very high that I might carry the disease. Second pattern is disease related to many genes, not one gene. Many genes are involved, and the effect will be small from each one of them. And not only the gene, even the environment has an impact to develop the disease. That is called as a polygenic. Poly means many, genic means genetic disorder, genesis. That how it will develop. So you name anything: diabetes, obesity, thyroid, asthma, constipation, cardiovascular problem, cardiac arrest. Name any disease, all are multifactorial. That means we carry the mutation in our body, but they'll be silent. They don't express. When we change our lifestyle, when we change our diet, when we change our hobbies, then we are prone to develop the disease. For example, if you take one family where all the family members are very fat, obese, okay, that means that indicates that small change in their diet, if they take little more food, immediately they develop the obesity. Then the family members, they must be very careful. They have to be very strict in their diet. Every day physical activities they should continue. Like that they could manage. And if grandparents are diabetic, parents are diabetic, 100% even we will develop the diabetes. So what we supposed to do? So beginning itself, we should avoid more sugar. Then we should do exercises. We should do meditation to just to reduce the stress. So by doing this, even though it is in our family, we will be healthy. And some families, many cardiac arrest. Uncle died due to cardiac arrest, and grandfather due to cardiac arrest. All these things happen. Then all the family members must be, it is a caution for everyone, because anytime even they end up with a cardiac arrest. So what they're supposed to do? They should avoid the cholesterol. They should be having a, they should have a good healthy diet, lifestyle. So they'll be okay. And similarly, cancer. If many deaths in due to cancer, females especially, breast cancer in aunt and uterine cancer in grandmother, already many deaths in the family, then all the females could develop the cancer when compared to others. They are more prone to develop the cancer when compared to others. So what do? They have to do self-examination, and after 40 years, they should go to annually. Some examination will be there for mammogram and many other things. Thereby, they could cross-check whether they are healthy or not. So that is called as a polygenic. And next category is a cytogenetic. I told you, know, so humans has a 46 number of chromosome. By chance, if there is any variation in this number, then definitely end up with a problem. Like you have seen transgenders. So it is because of there is a change in the chromosome number many times. Okay. So I'll skip off. I told you, know, polygenic means it is a multifactorial disorder occur as a result of interaction of gene with the environmental factor such as tobacco, pollution, diet, all these things. So multifactorial, the same thing, includes obesity, heart diseases, cancer, diabetes, even mental health illness like schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, all these things. It is also genetic issues. So I skip all this. So thereby it will be easy for you to, these are all the genetic disorders. And this much difficult for you to follow. So I told you chromosome, how they look like. So in humans, we have a 46. So one from father, one from mother, like that 23 pairs. These 22, they are called as autosomes. Means they will carry every function in our body, breathing, everything, respiration, digestion, excretion, everything in our body will be managed by 22 chromosomes. This 6 chromosome, they determine the sex of an individual. That means whether to become a male or to become a female, it is decided by the sex chromosome. You must be knowing females has 2 X chromosome, males have X and Y. Sometimes male have XXY, that is a trans Klinefelter condition. Female sometimes instead of 2X, they have a 3X, poly X females. So I'll explain what are those things. This is human chromosome, 23 pairs of chromosome and 22 meant for rest of the function, 1 pair for reproduction. Okay, in males, it is for the sperm production. In female, it is for both male and female to identify the sex of to determine the sex of an individual, and also for the reproduction. 6 chromosomes are very, very important. By chance, if there is any problem in the sex chromosome, person is absolutely normal, but no reproduction. That's the only thing. And all the organism, I told you, this is the grasshopper, it has a chromosome. And this is a honeybee, it has a chromosome. Human, cock, fish, you name any organism on this earth except microbes, all of them have a definite number of chromosomes. Not only animals, even plants. So this is in humans, I told you, in female 2 X chromosomes are there, in males X and Y chromosome. See the size of X chromosome and size of Y chromosome. Y chromosome is very, very tiny in size. Okay, and why? Because its main function is reproduction, production of sperms. So the number of the sperm, quality of the sperm, functional capacity of the sperm, all these things are decided by Y chromosome. And X chromosome, not only the sex, even it will carry many other function. That's why always we give more importance, preference to females, no? Not only socially, culturally, even genetically, females are very strong. I made one video related to this. All videos are in Kannada. Where, why, how come ladies are so dominating? Dominating in the sense, we say it is a male-dominated society. It is not true. It is a female-dominated society. Because genetically, this X chromosome is very, very strong. By chance, anything happens in the X chromosome, the person can't survive. It is a disease. By chance, something wrong with the Y chromosome, person is absolutely normal, but he can't father. He can't produce sperms. That's the only thing. Otherwise, you can't make out the person with the unhealthy condition. He's absolutely normal. Okay, any alteration in the number of the chromosome, structure of the chromosome, structure also very important. So that changes our phenotype. Phenotype means our appearance will alter. You have seen children with abnormality, small head and broad head, that is a microcephaly, macrocephaly, and that is a low set ear. The ear position will be low, and depressed nasal bridge, that is a nose part, no, it will be not sharp. It is a totally flattened, and the distance between the nose and the upper lip and distance between the lower lip and the chin is completely different. By looking into anyone, easily we can make out that they have some or other problem. Because as a genetist, I could see any person immediately, I could sense that there is something wrong with the individual just by their face. That is called as anthropometric measurement. We are all Dravidians and Mongoloid, that is a ethnicity, but Dravidians. And there is a reference value for everything. That is the position of the ear, position of the eyes, and the length of the nose, and the distance between the upper lip and the nose, and distance between the lower lip and the chin. All these things has some reference value. Beyond this, if the values won't fit into this, then 100% the person has a genetic issue. easily we could make out that it sometimes some children, they have a head which is very huge. That is a macrocephaly. Immediately we can sense that something wrong with the baby, something wrong with the child. So it is because of chromosomal alteration. Most of the time it is a chromosomal disorder. There is a change in the phenotype. Okay, so why such changes happens in the chromosome? It is called as, during cell segregation, something wrong happens. That is called as a, chromosomes will not segregate equally to two cells. That's why the children will be abnormal. So that is called as a non-disjunction of the chromosome. So,
ಮೇಡಮ್
hello.
ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಬಹುದಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ಮಧ್ಯ?
ಕೇಳಿಪ್ಪ ಕೇಳಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ,
ಹೌದು.
ಅದು ಈ ಮಂಗಳಮುಖಿರಲ್ಲಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈಗ ಸಲಿಂಗಕಾಮಿಗಳಲ್ಲಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇದು ಆ ತರದ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗೆ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆನ ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಾರಣಕರ್ತಗಳಾಗ್ತವೆ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು, ನಾನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮೆಟೋಜೆನಿಸಿಸ್, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್, oogenesis ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಓವಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ the chromosome will segregate. They will move to two cells. ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಈ ವರ್ಣತಂತು ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಎರಡು ಜೀವಕೋಶಗಳಿಗೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಮೋರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್, ಅದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಲೆಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್. These sperms and eggs, when they fuse, then the baby will be abnormal. I will tell you how it will happen. Okay, so this chromosomal non-disjunction is strongly associated, directly associated with age of the individual, especially maternal age. Mother age is directly strongly associated in giving birth to abnormal children. ತಾಯಿ ವಯಸ್ಸು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಂಗೆ ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹುಟ್ಟುವ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಯಾವ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಆ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಮೋರ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಆರ್ ದ PhD ಆರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಜಾಬ್, ವಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಪೋನ್. ನವಡೇಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಯೂತ್, ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾರಿ because they think it is a marriage is a responsibility. It is true, marriage is a responsibility. We are answerable to everyone in the family. There are a lot of responsibility will be there in the marriage. It is a commitment. So that's why what happened now, youth, because they are earning, they want to be free and they want to enjoy their life, so they keep on postponing the marriage. So especially ladies, so when they get married, by the time if their age is more than 30 years, the chances of giving birth to abnormal children will increase. Always more than 30 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಾದಾಗ ಅಸ್ವಸ್ಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬುದ್ಧಿಮಾಂದ್ಯತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹುಟ್ಟುವ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ. ಅದು ರೀಸನ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಸೊ ಸಚ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಕಾಮನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್. Hybrid means they are not normal, they are abnormal plants. Their chromosome number is 3 times more, 4 times more, 5 times more, 6 times more. That is called as a triploidy, tetraploidy, pentaploidy, hexaploidy, heptaploidy. More the number of the chromosome, more strong, more robust, and the size of the fruit huge, size of the flower huge. That is called as a hybrid. It is only for the plant. Such things happens to human, then it is a disease. So the number of the chromosome should be very accurate. Only 46, not more than 46, not less than 46. The size should be, the structure of the chromosome should be normal. If there is change in the structure of the chromosome, overall it results in abnormality. So this is in plants, no problem. This is the normal plant, this is normal fruit, this is hybrid. But something same thing applicable to human. Normal human means abnormal human means that what we say, that is a cancer. There is a development of tumor, ಗೆಡ್ಡೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, tumor inside the body. It is because of mutation, alteration in the chromosome number, structure, all these things. So I'll take up a few diseases, thereby it is easy for you to understand. There is a disease called as a Turner syndrome. Probably you have seen, but you are not familiar what is this. It is called as a Turner syndrome. Here, normally I told you in females, there are 2 X chromosomes. But in these females, they have only 1 X. Okay, so they look like female, but they are not complete females. If you observe them carefully, then only you can make out they are not normal. They are abnormal. But careful observation should be there. That is called as a Turner syndrome. So when we observe these changes, that is in the adolescent age. If the female, she doesn't develop menstruation and no female features during adolescent, that is at the age of 14, 15, 16 years, then there is lack of, they do not undergo puberty or menstruation. There is no menstruation. Okay, and there is a lack of breast development, no breast development, narrow hips, intelligence is normal in some individual. So what in rural area, they think that they are malnutrited. That's why there is no menstruation. So they'll be thinking after marriage, everything will be fine. So that girl will be married. Even after marriage, no menstruation, and they don't have a sexual life. Then there is a objection from the boy side. So there is no menstruation and all these things. Then it goes to court. Court says, do karyotyping. Karyotyping is a chromosome study, DNA study. Court will say, so let her do karyotyping. So when they do the chromosome study, they come to know that this girl has only 1 X. She must have 2 X, but now there is only 1 X. That's why she doesn't develop any female character. And court says give divorce. So like that. So many times it is very difficult to make out that she is a Turner girl. Like see here. This is in the baby itself, I told you. So this extra fold of skin in the newborn baby, if you find extra fold of the skin in the neck portion, 100% the baby has a genetic problem. And low set ear, I told you, no, ಕಿವಿ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಕೆಳಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂಚೂರು ಕೆಳಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೂಗು ಡಿಪ್ರೆಸ್ ನೇಸಲ್ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್, ಚಪ್ಪಟೆ ಮೂಗು, ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ತಲೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಅಥವಾ ತಲೆ ದಪ್ಪ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾಗ 100% ಆ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಿಸಾರ್ಡರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. See here, these are all not small babies, kids. This is 12 years, 12 or 14 years, 16 years. So no breast development. See here, neck region, extra fold of skin. Okay, so and no development, proper development, female features. So this is called as a Turner. Lot are there, many girls having this problem, but we have to observe carefully, then only we could make out this. See here, this is the chromosome. So doctors know, they'll say that go and get a chromosome testing. When they do the chromosome, all chromosomes are 2 in number. 2. No, they are in pairs. See here, female should have a 2 X chromosome, but this girl lady has only 1. So indicating that it is a Turner syndrome, Turner disease. So similarly, Klinefelter's in males. Males with always know they should have a X and Y. That's a normal males. Some males have a extra X, XXY, XXXY. Like that, some males have this condition. And Y chromosome, having a extra X chromosome, this is very common. What I am telling, out of 1,000, one will be with this condition. Okay. So here, this is, see, the male will develop the breast. Males, but they develop the breast. And this is the pubic hair, female type pubic hair pattern in males. Testicular atrophy. Atrophy means degeneration. The testis is there, no? Testis will regress. It will become very small in size. Testis is there. Testis is there, but it is very small in size, and sometimes undescended testis. Generally, you must be knowing, because I work on infertility. My core research is on infertility. So far, I have screened more than 10,000 couple with infertile condition. So we do counseling, and we do lot of chromosome testing, DNA testing among infertile couples. So some males, the testis should be, you know, the testis is outside the body in males. Why it is outside the body? Because the testis has to be always, it should be in a cool condition. Body temperature is 37 degree. In human, our body temperature is 37 degree. But testes, the sperms will produce at 34 degrees. So if it is 37, sperm will not produce. More temperature, the person will become infertile. That's why earlier days, no, people, they used to wear cotton panche, and you must be knowing the region where more temperature, hot climate, they used to wear a cotton cloth. But nowadays, what happened? Everywhere they wear jeans. So there is no air percolation, no aeration, and no aeration, then there is no spermatogenesis. The testis will not produce sperms, and the male become infertile. So that's why always, in order to keep the testis healthy, the males should take a cold shower. Always pour lot of water to testis. Thereby, testis temperature will be reduced and it will produce sperms. So here there is a breast development, poor beard growth, no beard. They look like a very soft skin and all female features, and IQ will be less when compared to normal individual. See, this, he is a male, but when we look at him, no, features looks like a female. Here thigh bone, and the hands are very, this one very slender, lengthy, and even when they walk also, sometimes we could make out. Walk also, we could make out that they are not, something wrong with the males. And after karyotyping, we could make out there is a, this is a Klinefelter's males. See here, he's a male. See, face looks like a female, very nice, and no beard, soft skin, and there is a breast development, all this. Male, he's a male, but looks like a female. This is because when we do karyotyping, we see here XXY. This X is a extra in these males. This is not their fault. Okay, no, not their fault. When we see Klinefelter, Turner, transgenders, ambiguous genitalia, some males have vagina, penis, all this. It is not their problem. It is a developmental problem. When they were in the fetus, in their mother womb, that time, if mother exposed to some chemicals, xenoestrogen, that's why I used to tell, please watch YouTube videos. You get a lot of information, because all the information I can't cover now. Okay, so 300 videos I made for the public interest. I just want to educate everyone, because genetics is the subject. Everyone should know about this, at least some basics of the genetics, and about our lifestyle, diet, all these things. Please watch, because you're all teachers. Thereby you can carry this message to your students, and even share with your students. Thereby let them watch some of the videos. I have given every information. Every day I'm putting videos related to health, diet, hobbies, all this, because this is the water bottle, no? So everyone, this is the bottle, everyone uses this water bottle everywhere. Okay, we keep water in cars, scooters, with a plastic water bottle. What happens when we put hot object, hot food items in the plastics? The plastic will leach a chemical called as a bisphenol A and bisphenol B. These are the two chemicals. They are the xenoestrogen. Okay, synthetic estrogen. That's why what happened, males, when they drink such water, in future, already that it has proved in animals and many other studies and lines. So their behavior starts like, they start behaving like a females, because of the estrogen supplement from outside. So all this, that's why always I never entertain carrying the plastic, this one package, food packed in a plastic, because in hotels generally they pack the food in plastic, no? So hot sambar, hot rasam, everything. So what happened? And they are not using a food grade plastic. The plastic what is used by the commercial people, it is not a food grade plastic. Food grade plastic is very, very expensive. You must be knowing there are some branded plastic items like Tupperware. It's a very expensive. One tiffin box will be 300, 400 rupees. And same will be available for 30 rupees also. So why it is a 300 or 400 rupees? When you put hot food item, there is no chemical reaction. But in these plastic bags, carry bags, always definitely there is a chemical reaction. Okay, they say nothing will happen, but it will happen. We should accept the truth. Okay, so all these chemicals will leach into our sambar, which will lead to a rasam. Then what happen when we consume every time? Then the synthetic estrogen in our body increases, and because of that, the males, why more of infertility nowadays? Earlier infertility, male infertility is very less. Nowadays, male infertility, spermatogenesis gone down. The number of sperms earlier, 50 years back, normal individual had 200 million sperms per ejaculate. Per ejaculate or per ml, if you just count the number of the sperms in per ejaculate, it will be more than 200 millions. Now, during these 50 years, it has reduced from 200 to 100, 100 to 50, 50 to 30. And now, infertility means 15, 1 5. It is not 150, it is 1 5. 15 million per ml. Then the male is called as an infertile individual. Okay, why such a drastic reduction in the sperms? Because there change in the lifestyle, there is a change in the diet and change in the hobbies. All these things making man more infertile day by day. That's why we have a lot of infertility centers everywhere in Mysore. Earlier, no. Earlier, people used to go to Bombay, Delhi for the infertility treatment. Then in Bangalore, hundreds. In Mysore, the number goes to dozens. Why so? Because change in our lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle, we don't work. Well, it is a physical inactivity. Along with that, lot of junk food. I never entertain eating junk food because junk food, whatever may be, it has a coloring agent. Lot of colors will be added to attract the customers. Okay, all these gobi manchurian, any you name any bakery item or any soft, what is that in the streets, no charts. Generally, they use Ajinomoto, they use lot of colors, and colors are very, very dangerous. All are carcinogen, they cause cancer. Then they add a lot of preservatives. So they want to keep to preserve the food, preservatives, coloring agent, food additives. Ajinomoto is a taste powder. So everywhere, why your children always they have addiction to junk food? It is because of the taste powder. So it is an addiction. So because of all this nowadays, they all these things, finally we are compromising with our health. Health is completely compromised. When we are moving to westernization, we lost our culture, and there is a change in our diet pattern, and no physical activity, and all these things, social isolation, all these things, definitely we are in a danger zone. So tiny filter, I told you, sometimes more X and XXXY, and more the number of X chromosome, more the features will be more glaring. Easily we can make out. And some of them, sometimes what happen, some cells normal, some cells abnormal in the body. And you just cannot make out their Klinefelter. Absolutely, they look like a healthy male. After marriage, if there are no sperms, no fertilization, no pregnancy, when they go to doctor for checkup, when doctor will suspect, doctor could make out something wrong with the male. So they advise them to go for a karyotyping. This is the ultimate. Karyotyping gives exact thing what has happened. DNA testing tells exactly what has happened. So karyotyping, we can make out he is not a complete male, he is a Klinefelter male, because of extra X chromosome. Jacobson disease. You heard about many psychic people. They are absolutely handsome, highly qualified, but psychic nature. So lot of torture to wife, and you have heard about a lot of such people. Very aggressive, mentally normal, and they have very aggressive. They have increased in the testosterone level is more in such males. It is because of extra Y. I told you chromosome number shouldn't exceed or it shouldn't decrease. It should be normal. Then the person is normal. See here, instead of XY, one extra X is there. That's why more male nature, more aggressive and more psychic condition. This is C, X chromosome to Y in karyotyping. So this tells the male is a Jacobson disease. Earlier, many criminals in England, they claimed that they did a lot of crime. They murdered, especially girls. They used to serial killer. They killed many girls, and they are so perverted mindset. And then when they were in jail, they were claiming that it is not our fault. So we didn't do anything intentionally because we had an extra chromosome. That chromosome triggered us to do all these things. Please excuse. Then the court say crime is a crime. Whether more chromosome, less chromosome, more hormone, less hormone, whatever the may be, but you did a crime. So no excuse. They were sentenced to death. They were hanged because they killed many dozen, 2 dozen young girls, beautiful girls. So that's a criminal tendency is more in case of Jacobson disease. Poly X females means instead of 2X, some females have a extra X. There are, I don't mention the names of the celebrities. Many celebrities in Hollywood and Bollywood have a XXXX like this, extra X. That's why they are extraordinary. You will be thinking why she is so tall, physique is so good, and why around people know others are not. My wife is not like. No, you compare with some celebrities, but they are not normal. Okay, so either they have undergone cosmetic surgery, otherwise genetically their makeup will be totally different, and they are all infertile, and they may have a menstrual difficulties, but sometimes fertile or sterile, and these are called as a poly X female. Absolutely normal, most beautiful they are, very good physics they have, and it is very difficult to make out. But after marriage, you have seen many celebrities now after marriage they give divorce, and when they come to know that the person is important or the girl is not fertile, so many issues, personal things they won't reveal, but there must be some reason for each divorce. So it is because of such many females we have, both in Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood, you name any such industry. There are many people with this. Even in you have seen in what is that Big Boss, there was one transgender lady. She is a very tall stature and fair, beautiful, but it's a transgender. So this is related to our sex chromosome, and we have till what time is supposed to stop?
Ma'am, 11:15, ma'am.
11:15, ma'am.
11:50.
Then I could take up some questions also. So this is related to sex chromosome. Similarly, we have a Down syndrome. This is very, very common. You have seen such children. Probably sometimes some relatives of you might have such children. Down syndrome. It is this, see, this abnormal children. So because they are called as a mongoloid kids earlier, they look like a mongoloids, but the condition is called as a Down syndrome. Why such problem? Even you have seen in Avinash Malavika, they have one mentally retarded. It is because of the Wolff-Erschan syndrome, that the baby has a Wolff-Erschan syndrome. There's a small deletion in the 13th chromosome in that baby. So like that, they have a mental retardation. And always, because I worked on pediatric disorders for my PhD, I used to interact with the parents, I used to interact with the kids, I used to collect the blood from them, and I used to do the karyotyping. And this is the Down syndrome. I worked on Down syndrome extensively. And every parent, the main purpose of all organism on this earth is a reproduction. Reproduction in the sense, so we want to continue our generation. Everyone know, to say, they always know why I am very proud of my kids, because I knew that my genes are there. And why your grandparents are very proud of you, because they knew that they have continued, they lived in you, because they have given the characters or the traits, and from generation to generation it has been continued. ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ವಯಸ್ಸಾದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೊಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ನೋಡೋ ಆಸೆ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಮೊಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾರ. ಅವ್ರು ಮೊಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾನು ಬದುಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನನ್ನ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ವಂಶಾಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳ ಅಂತಿಮ ಧ್ಯೇಯ. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿಗೂ ವಂಶಾಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿನೇ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ಸ್, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಬರೀ ವಂಶಾಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ನೀವು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ, ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರದಲ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಕಾಸ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು, ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಒಂದು ವಿಕಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿರೋಂಥದ್ದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಆರೋಗ್ಯವಂತರಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸಚಿನ್ ತೆಂಡೂಲ್ಕರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅಬ್ದುಲ್ ಕಲಾಂ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನು ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ದೇವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಗಂಡು ಮಗು ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಗು ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಕಿವಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, 2 ಕಣ್ಣಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಮೂಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಮೊದಲು ಮಗು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ರೈ ಯಾರು ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಶಿಲ್ಪಾ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ, ನೋ, ಎವ್ರಿ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ನೋ, ದೇ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಹೈ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡ್ರೀಮು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಮಗು, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ IQ, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ. ಸಚಿನ್ ತೆಂಡೂಲ್ಕರ್ ಆರು ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಬ್ದುಲ್ ಕಲಾಂ ಆದ್ರು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಟು ಯು. ವಾಟ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಟು ಯು. ಬಟ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮಗು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹುಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಮದರ್. ಶಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಅಟ್ಟರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇರ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳು ಹಾಕಿದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿಲಿ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಚೂರು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಎಡವಟ್ಟಾಯ್ತು, ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಅವರ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್, ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಮೆಡಿಕೇಶನ್, ವಿ ಡು ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಮೆಡಿಕೇಶನ್. ತಲೆನೋವು ಡೋಲೋ 650, ಜ್ವರ ಡೋಲೋ 650, ಅದೊಂದು ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಡೋಲೋ 650 ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಮುದ್ದೆ ತಿನ್ನಿ, ಡೋಲೋ 650, ಫೈನ್, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಬಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್, ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಡೋಲೋ 650, ನೋ ಆಸ್ಪಿರಿನ್, ನೋ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸಿಟಮಾಲ್, ನಥಿಂಗ್. ವಿತೌಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು. ಏನು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಫುಡ್, ಜಂಕ್ ಫುಡ್ ತಿನ್ನಬಾರ್ದು, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಏನು ತಿನ್ನಬಾರ್ದು. ಏನೇ ಬೈಕೆ ಆದ್ರೂ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ತಿಂದ್ರೆ ಹುಟ್ಟುವ ಮಗು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಆರ್ಗನೋಜೆನೆಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭ್ರೂಣದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಮೆದುಳಿನ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ, ಕಣ್ಣು, ಕಿವಿ, ಮೂಗುದು ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆನ ತಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ 30-40,000 ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ 30,000-40,000 ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ. ಸೊ ಫೈನಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸ್ಡ್, ದ ಬೇಬಿ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಹೆಲ್ತಿ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್, ಹಲೋ ಹೇಳಿ, ನಾನು ಇದೊಂದು ಚೂರು ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್. ಒಂಚೂರು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಡೌನ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 21ನೇ ವರ್ಣತಂತು 3 ಇದೆ, ಟ್ರಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರೊಮೊಸೋಮು 2, ಇದು 3. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್, ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು, ಕ್ರೊಮೊಸೋಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅಕ್ಯುರೇಟ್. ಒಂದು ಚೂರು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರು ಡೌನ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್. ಈಗ ಮೆಂಟಲಿ ರಿಟಾರ್ಡೆಡ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ನಾನು, ಅದು. So why I took up this topic, why I want to educate all of you is because nowadays people, youth, they don't want to marry, especially girls. ಹುಡುಗರದ್ದು ಏನಾರು ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 70 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆದ್ರೂ ಮಕ್ಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ 30 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಟು abnormal children will increase. This is the statistic. This is the data. When mother age is 20, the chances of giving birth to Down syndrome or any chromosomal disorder is 1 in 2000. Chances are remote. When she is 20 years, 25 years, also same. 30 years, 1 in 800. 35 years, 1 in 300. 40 years, 1 in 100. 45, 1 in 30. ಏಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂಗೆ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಟು abnormal children increases. Now immediately you will be thinking, celebrities, they marry at 40 years. Aishwarya Rai 40 years. Some other celebrity 40 years. I am taking few example. But ಮಕ್ಕಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಟ್ರೂ, they marry late, but before birth they will, during pregnancy, ಅವ್ರೇನು ನಮ್ಮ ತರ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. So they go to Lilavati, Gangaram Hospital, under very sophisticated hospitals, okay, where the gynecologist is also genetist. Gynecologist is not only a gynecologist, she is also a genetist. She will counsel. She knows mother age increases, giving birth to abnormal children increases. We don't know how many abortions she has undergone before the birth of this baby. We don't know anything. What we have seen, a beautiful baby. So ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮಗು ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲಿಟಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಬಾರ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರೀನೇಟಲ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ನೋಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ. ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮಗು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ, ಮಗು ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನೇಷನ್. ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಟಿಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಐಸ್ಬರ್ಗ್. ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಿರೋದು ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈ ಐಸ್ಬರ್ಗ್ ನೋಡಿದಿರಲ್ವಾ, ಮಂಜುಗೆಡ್ಡೆದು ಒಂದು ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮೌಂಟೇನ್ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ ಸಮುದ್ರದ ಒಳಗಡೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಒಂಚೂರು, ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಅರ್ಧಂಬರ್ಧ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರಿಟೀಸ್. ಅವ್ರು ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಾವ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಯೂತ್, our younger generation, why they follow everything, they follow them. Okay, and this is the statistics. So why it is only for female? Why only for female? Why not male? Males only spermatogenesis is a continuous process. Every month sperm produce agi ella idagbekare ಒಂದು 10 days ಸಾಕು. So every day, every month, every 10 days new sperms will be produced. During fertilization, after marriage, if they keep good diet, lifestyle, so they will produce healthy sperms. But female oogenesis starts in our fetal condition. ತಾಯಿ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅಂಡಾಣುನ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಅಂಡಾಣುಗಳು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗೋದು ಆಕೆ ಭ್ರೂಣಾವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗಲ್ಲ, ವೀರ್ಯಾಣು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗೋದು ಹದಿಹರೆಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂಡಾಣು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗೋದು ಭ್ರೂಣಾವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಭ್ರೂಣಾವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡಾಣು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆಯಾಗಿ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ. 30,000 eggs released in the fetal condition, they were arrested. And during this process, it will be there stored. It is in the storage. So during, when she reaches, the female baby or the child reaches 12 years, by the time out of 30,000, 3,000 and rest of the eggs undergo atresia, they die every time. And now 3,000 eggs, approximately 3,000, there will be in the reserve. And out of these 3,000, every month one egg will be released. And which egg will be released? The egg which is healthy will be released every month. Always there is a competition. Good eggs will be released first. So what happens if menstruation starts by 12 years? And when she reaches 30 years, by the time all good eggs will be exhausted. Whatever she is having, they are unhealthy eggs. When unhealthy eggs fertilizes with the healthy sperms, then naturally the baby will be with disease condition. That's why female shouldn't postpone pregnancy. Female shouldn't postpone marriage. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎಲ್ಲ 25-26 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹೆಲ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಪೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋದಂಗೆ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್ ದಟ್ ಶಿ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. ಬಟ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಈಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಪ್ರಿನೇಟಲ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ನೋಸಿಸ್, they have to undergo prenatal diagnosis, check whether the developing fetus is normal or not. If it is normal, then they can continue the pregnancy. If it is abnormal, they go for termination. So maternal age, I explained all these things. Father, I told you, exposure to teratogen, there are chances. That's why smoking, alcohol, they should quit. They should develop good habits, good diet, good lifestyle. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್, so these are the things, drugs like all these things, thalidomide, cyclophosphamide, lithium carbonate, all these drugs, lot of medication iruttala, adu chemicals. I told you PCB, ಬಿಸ್ಫಿನಾಲ್ ಹೇಳದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಬಿಸ್ಫಿನಾಲ್, ಮಿಥೈಲ್ ಮರ್ಕ್ಯೂರಿ, ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್, ಸಮಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಹೈಜೀನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಫೀಮೇಲ್, ರುಬೆಲಾ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಸೈಟೋಮೆಗಲಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಹರ್ಪಿಸ್, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾಸಿಸ್. ಈ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾಸಿಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬೆಕ್ಕುಗಳಿಂದ ಬರೋಂಥದ್ದು ಇದು ಕಾಯಿಲೆ. ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ಫೀಮೇಲು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಬೆಕ್ಕನ್ನ ಮುದ್ದು ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲೇಬಾರ್ದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾಸಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫೀಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್. ಅದು ಫೀಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರು, ಅದೇನೋ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಎತ್ತದು, ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೈನ ವಾಶ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ, ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಕೀನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಹೈಜೀನ್. ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೈಸರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೈ ವಾಶ್. ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರಲೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಬ್ಲೈಂಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತೆ, ಐಸೈಟ್ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಂಗೆ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಚ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. ಈ ಪೆಟ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ನಾಯಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಬೆಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಶ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಜೊತೆ ಏನೋ ಆಟ ಆಡಿ ಫೈನ್, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಕೈನೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ವಾಶ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಈ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಕ್ ಪಕ್ಕನೆ ಮಲ್ಗೋದು, ನಾಯಿ ಪಕ್ಕನೆ ಮಲ್ಗೋದು, ಮುದ್ದು ಮಾಡೋದು, ಫೈನ್. ಬಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪೆಟ್ಸ್ನ ಒಂದು ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ, ಏಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ರಿಸರ್ವಾಯರ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೆನಿ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್. ಅವುಗಳು ರಿಸರ್ವಾಯರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವಕ್ಕೇನು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾಸಿಸ್ ಅದೇನು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನಾಯಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸರ್ವಾಯರ್ ಇದೆ. ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ವಿ ಗಾಟ್ ದ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. HIV ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತು? HIV ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಮಂಕೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆಫ್ರಿಕಾ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವೈರಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆ ಥರ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ರಿಸರ್ವಾಯರ್ ಅದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೋಸ್ಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ವಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ದ ಡಿಸೀಸ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಐನೈಸಿಂಗ್ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಯೂಸ್, ಅಡಿಕ್ಷನು. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಏಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ವಾಚ್ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್, ದೇರ್ ಬೈ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್. ಮೆಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಇಫ್ ಮದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡಯಾಬಿಟಿಕ್, ಮದರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ developing fetus. This is one example I will give you. Okay, so already it is time. Thalidomide anta ಒಂದು drug. So this has happened 50 years back in Europe. This thalidomide drug, it is a fantastic drug for a sleeping problem. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿಲಿ, ಅರ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ 3 months, ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಮಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೆನ್ಸೇಷನು, ಗಿಡಿನೆಸ್, ಊಟ ಸೇರಲ್ಲ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಾಲರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಎನಿ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಬಿಟ್ ಸಫಿಸ್ಟಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಟಾಲರೇಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ಡ್ ಗೈನಕಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಾಲಿಡಮೈಡ್ ಡ್ರಗ್. ಫ್ಯಾಂಟಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್, ಇಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಫ್ಯಾಂಟಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್. ತಗೊಂಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನು ತಲೆ ಸುತ್ತು ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ವಾಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ನಾಸಿಯಾ, ವಾಮಿಟಿಂಗ್, ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್. So fine, fantastic. Entire Europe, in the entire all European countries, doctors have prescribed because it works fantastic. Okay. After that, and suddenly 50,000 children born without limbs in the Europe. It was a shock for the doctors. How come without limbs? Negroid also same, different races, everyone. See, this boy doesn't have a hand. No, this person, hand, he's very handsome. See, no limbs. So this is called as a Pochymelia babies or the thalidomide babies. What happened? That tablet has inhibited the development of the limbs in the fetus. Doctors never knew. Chemical, the drug company never knew that it will affect a pregnant female like this. Okay. So and the drug was banned. But whatever may be, they have given compensation, but whatever may be, they are handicapped. Okay, so that's why I told you, pregnant female not supposed to take anything. Let them do some home medicine. Let them do some Ayurvedic or whatever at home. They have a lot of mane madhu iruttala. They can do that, but not the drugs. We don't know how it will affect. So exposure of the pregnant female to last dose of X-rays lead to microcephaly, spina bifida, cleft palate, all these things. And I told you, females with infection, rubella causes blindness, deafness, mental impairment. Exposure to alcohol may cause physical malformation, growth retardation, mental retardation, all this. Methyl mercury pollutant found in fishes causes increased birth weight in babies and neurobehavioral defects in children. Okay, so why nowadays children know they are so very sensitive. Being a teachers, you are not supposed to scold anyone. Okay, so don't know what will happen if they commit suicide. It comes to us because the reason not you are scolding made them to commit suicide, because mentally they are not stable. Mental health, I mentioned about mental health. Without, if you don't give a mobile phone, immediately they get into depression. And if less marks, depression, everything depression. Why so? Anxiety, depression, attention deficit. Why mental instability? Why mental instability? Children nowadays both are working, and children will be with a servant, and mother intimacy with the baby will not be more. Earlier it was 2 years. Children know they incubate in the mother body heat 1 year, 2 years. They're breastfeeding for 2 years. Now it is 3 months, 4 months. And what happened? It is called as epigenetic phenomenon. So if children who brought up with the mother intimacy, mother body heat, they were mentally very stable. They can handle anything on this earth. Whatever may be the crisis, whatever may be the situation, even like Israel crisis, Ukraine crisis, they will overcome. But if children not having maternal intimacy, then definitely even less marks, 1 mark less, they'll commit suicide. So this is the situation. So this everyone should know that children, we are why I am working, it is for my children. So more than that, I should give some time. So more than property, more than earning, I should give some time. Thereby, if they are mentally healthy, physically healthy, socially healthy, spiritually healthy, then only holistic health they have, and whatever we earn, they could able to manage the situation. And lead poisoning, that also causes abnormal development, all this. Alcohol, nowadays in MNC, multinational company, females, earlier we thought only men will booze, men will drink alcohol. No, always no, we say it is both are equal, male, females of both are equal. It is not so. Physically, we can't compete with male. Okay, so some of the things, it is not possible. Nature has built up the physical, mental things like that. So we can't be equivalent to male. Nowadays, they say, the pseudo activists, they say, no, we are all the people who are mentally unstable, they say like that. The females who are not married, who had divorcee. So they start hating all men, and they say we are equal, and they start boozing. So let them booze. But problem during pregnancy, if they take alcohol, the children will be fetal alcohol syndrome, mental retardation. So all these things. So these are all the abnormal children. But finally, how we could, all these are abnormality. I'll just, but if age is more than 35 years, if you have a family history of birth defect, if the first child is with birth defect, if they have any problem, then they must undergo prenatal diagnosis. This is, I'll skip all. Amniocentesis, they take the amniotic fluid. during pregnancy and check whether the chromosome of that fetus is normal or not. Similarly, this is the amniotic fluid. It is the shock absorber around the baby. They take the amniotic fluid, they prepare chromosome from this, and they check whether the baby is normal or not. Similarly, they take a tissue from this and they make a chromosome preparation out of this, and they check whether the fetus is. All celebrities, they undergo all these things. So that's why they get the healthy baby, even though they are aged. And there are a lot of such things. They do karyotyping, confirm, and finally they get the healthy baby. And we will be thinking, we always try to follow them without half knowledge. We don't know anything. Simply we see them and we'll try to mimic them, and we end up with a lot of problems. So I take up the questions. Thank you. And with a dietary modification, always we should concentrate on our diet, healthy diet, more vegetable, fruits, because they have a lot of phytochemicals, and that gives a lot of protection. Vitamins will be there, trace elements will be there in different vegetables, fruits. And sometimes we need medication that has to be taken under prescription. Environmental adaptation means it should be physical activity. Any physical activity, it could be yoga, meditation, all these things are fantastic. And some good physical activities, swimming, shuttle, badminton, anything, whatever they like, which sports they like, physical activity, let them, but physical activity must be there. So for mental health, meditation, music, or such things which relaxes our mind, so such things should be there. And gene therapy still it is not of that much usage, but these are all the interventions, that is a management and treatment for genetic disorders. With this, thank you everyone. Okay, so I'll take up the questions.
Hello ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ma'am, Sureka, Department of Economics ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, ನಂದು ಮಗು 2 ವರ್ಷ 1.5 ತಿಂಗಳಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಇನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಇದು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅಪ್ಪ, ಅಮ್ಮ, ಅಣ್ಣ, ತಾತ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂತ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಅವನಕಿನ್ನ ಚಿಕ್ಕವರು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮನೆ.
ಈಗ ನೀವೊಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ, ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಗೋತ್ರಿ ಪಕ್ಕನೆ ಆಯುಷ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಮಗುನ ತೋರಿಸಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇದು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್. ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮಿನರಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ವಿತಿನ್ 300 ರೂಪೀಸೂನು ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿನ್ನ ಕಮ್ಮಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು, ಏಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಗುಗೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಮೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಮೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋನು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಏಜ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಮೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಡಿಲೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಮೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆಯುಷ್ಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಡಯಾಗ್ನೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಐ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದು. ಹೇಳಿ.
ಇವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಪ್ರೆಗ್ನೆನ್ಸಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ವಾಮಿಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಂತ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ವಾಮಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೆನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಅಪ್ ಟು ಸಿಸರಿನ್ ಆಗುವವರೆಗೂ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿನಿ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ?